Good evening and welcome to Breaking Day News right here on Switch TV. My name is Lincoln Wumbogo. Our sign language interpreter is Teresia Washira. We have a lot in line for you tonight, but first, the headlines. SIMEON, a former powerful cabinet minister in Moi's government, is dead.
Omba msamaha hapa sasa. Omba msamaha kwa watu wetu ambao walikufa kule Rift Valley. Wewe wacha. Kwa hivyo nataka kusema
chaos as Ruto and Raila's men exchange blows at a funeral service in Kisii County. Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu's lawyers filed a suit seeking to set aside an order stopping her from discharging her duties. We are live on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. On YouTube, we are live as Switch TV News. Send in your feedback to SMS line 111 444 111 and at Switch TV Kenya and at Lincoln Wumbogo. Former Cabinet Minister SIMEON NYACHAE is dead. The businessman, politician, former chief secretary and ex-head of civil service has died at the age of 88 at Nairobi Hospital, where he has been undergoing treatment for an undisclosed ailment. President Kenyatta has eulogized NYACHAE, noting that Kenya has lost a wise statesman whose long service the nation has helped shape the country's standing as one of Africa's progressive economies.
Following the late former minister SIMEON NYACHAE's death, leaders have come out to eulogize him. President Uhuru Kenyatta has mourned former cabinet minister, noting that the late NYACHAE's successful transition from public service to the world of business and politics is a demonstration that focus and hard work pays. Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i has condoled with the family of late former minister, saying he was a father to many.
This is a very sad day for all of us. I want to ask all my fellow Kenyans and citizens that we remain calm, and we will focus and listen to what the family will tell us as they plan the next steps in this journey. But conclude by asking sincerely that we continue to pray for the family of Mzee and all of us as we walk through this journey.
Honorable SIMEON NYACHAE has about an hour and a half ago rested here in Nairobi Hospital after a fairly long illness that he has bravely borne, and so we want to confirm that. We want to thank God.
Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has termed NYACHAE as an astute leader who served with diligence and dedication. ODM party leader Raila Odinga has also noted that the Abagusi community has lost one of its most illustrious sons. The leaders have described the former long-time Naribari Chache MP as a jolly, accessible and dependable elder whose wise counsel and friendship will be missed. Nyakundi Kelvin, Switch TV.
Thank you, Nyakundi Kelvin. May the former cabinet minister's soul rest in eternal peace. Drama ensued at the funeral service of Kisii Deputy Governor Joash Maangi's father, Abel Gongara. The funeral, attended by Deputy President William Ruto and his political nemesis Raila Odinga, came to a standstill as members of Parliament Simba Arati and Sylvanus Osoro exchanged bare-knuckle blows over BBI. John Kutunyi with the details.
Police were forced to intervene as MPs allied to Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga clashed, turning what was meant to be a sender for Kisii Deputy Governor Joash Maangi's father into a battlefield. Tension erupted immediately after ODM's Dagoretti MP Simba Arati called on the Deputy President William Ruto for shielding corrupt individuals within his camp. Tension continued to mount, forcing Deputy Governor Joash Maangi to take over the function, calling for calm. He invited his boss, Governor James Ongwae, who took over as the master of ceremony.
Omba msamaha hapa sasa. Omba msamaha kwa watu wetu ambao walikufa kule Rift Valley. Wewe wacha. Kwa hivyo nataka kusema hii biashara
Ruto and Raila Odinga's bodyguards surrounded the two leaders as their foot soldiers engaged in fistfights.
Tumebaki kando. Umesikia ODM mmoja hako ndani ya serikali? Ni waziri katika serikali? Hiko? Hakuna. Ni wao wenyewe. Sasa mambo kama imeenda mrama, ameanza sasa kusema hiyo sio makosa yangu, makosa ya fulani, makosa ya fulani. Shabari yenu. Mtoto ni yenu. Nyinyi mlikuwa kapu mbili. Mmeenda kule mkafanya mambo yenu. Mtoto natoka sasa wewe unasema hiyo si mtoto yangu. Ni mtoto ya nani?
Later, the Deputy President and ODM leader Raila Odinga addressed the mourners, calling for calm and respect among us, the leaders. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Joan Kutuny.
Thank you, Joan Kutunya. Moving on, Linda KATIBA coalition led by Martha KARUA has continued to campaign against the BBI report, claiming that the report lacks merit on matters facing Kenyans and that the current 2010 constitution should first be implemented. Speaking during the event, NYACHAE party leader Martha KARUA claims the BBI is a plan by the president to stay in power longer. Daniel Karaoke was at the event, saw artists perform and activists rant.
As the president concluded his 4-day tour in his backyard in the mountain region to drum up support for the BBI report, back in Nairobi, Linda KATIBA coalition was decamping the initiative.
The leadership has failed to faithfully implement the constitution and actualize the aspirations of Kenyans as captured in the 2010 constitution. Our constitution, as we stand here, is under serious threat.
As the BBI train speeds up its journey to the county assemblies for approval, KARUA warns that the constitution is under threat of being vandalized and destroyed before its full implementation.
And to the president, we are saying to him, you must not betray your oath of office. He may have already, but we are reminding him he must not continue to do so. Let them have space for now to choose their priorities. And their priorities, I bet, are not increasing the number of top seats and enlarging parliament.
Economist David Ndi says Kenyans must reject the BBI or else they will find themselves in the state they were in before the advent of multi-party democracy in 1992.
Who is pushing BBI? Why is a president who should be retiring, gathering people, taking state money, saying he will roar like a lion, all manner of things? He does not intend to leave power.
We want change and we want our constitution to be protected so that mothers no longer have to boil stones to pacify their children to fall asleep.
He cannot now turn around and tell us that suddenly he wants to give women something. He even stopped making promises to women.
Tungane.
And in an effort to insist the distrust with the report, the group also chose to include plays and music to show their disapproval of the report.
The message is one. Nobody can stop reggae.
Nobody can stop reggae.
Yes.
No one is going to stop reggae.
No one is going to. Hakuna. Watanyoka.
Watanyoka wote.
Nobody can stop reggae. Nobody can stop reggae. Aha. Nobody can stop reggae. Cause reggae is strong. Cheers, my brother.
Now, as the need for constitutional reforms continues to progress in the nation, Linda KATIBA is coming out strongly to oppose the BBI initiative that they claim is opposed to the needs of ordinary mwananchi, and the 2010 constitution first needs to be implemented. Daniel Karaoke for Switch TV, Nairobi County.
Thank you, Daniel Karaoke. Moving on. Ulster Governor Mike Sonko is still at the DCI offices before the Criminal Investigative Department on his utterances that together with PS Karanja Kibisho, they instigated 2017 post-election chaos. This is 1 week after the PS Karanja Kibisho was grilled on the same case. Elsewhere, Kamati ya Uhasibu katika bunge. Moving on to other stories. We now take a short commercial break. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more stories. Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Switch TV. We are live on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. On YouTube, we are live as Switch TV News. Send in your feedback to our SMS line 111 444 and at Switch TV Kenya. Residents living in NAROK County have shown their disinterest in the Building Bridges initiative that is soon to be set for a referendum. The locals claim that the document will not be much of assistance to the pastoral communities and that the bill has not talked anything about value addition to some of their products.
Some complications and they are required to go back to hospital. So 34 of the people whom we placed under home-based care were evacuated.
budget. Yeah, give us an overview on on the budget. We have the money that was appropriated in our supplemented budget, that was 105 million. We had a grant that came of about 260.
There was a question on what we spent on ICU units. The first one is there was a bit of misunderstanding because, you know, an ICU unit is a composite, and the guy will tell us, it consists of various components. And so the thinking in procurement was that it is better for one supplier to bring all the units for compatibility. And so heavily or severely symptomatic. But for those who are positive and they are not symptomatic, they are supposed to be at home. So when you look at, is it possible for us to run, say, an ICU in Mumias or Libyani? The answer is no. Why? The protocols have since changed. And then number two, these patients, ideally they are not supposed to be referred. So if you walk into an IDU, you're supposed to remain there until when you recover.
Many apologies, that story is from Kakamega County, and now this is NAROK County. Residents living in NAROK County have shown their disinterest in the Building Bridges initiative that is soon to be set for referendum. The locals claim that the document will not be much of assistance to pastoral communities and that the bill has not talked anything about value addition to some of their products produced by the pastoral communities, such as leather, milk and meat.
Tunatamani kusikia sana kama imeongeza maneno ya maziwa, nyama na ngozi. Lakini haijaongelelea hiyo maneno na mimi sija support kwa sababu hii ni document ambayo sijaiona mimi.
Kwa hivyo sisi tukiwa pastoral bado tunalalamika, tunasema hatuta support BBI mpaka tuletewe kwa mesa na tudhirike ya kwamba itatusaidia tukiwa pastoralists. Wanyama wanakuliwa huko Mara na wanyama. Mifugo yetu inakuliwa, watu wetu wanauliwa. Kitambo mtu apate ile compensation inachukua mamiaka. Kwa hivyo BBI ikuwe na mwelekeo mzuri. President Uhuru Kenyatta na Raila Odinga mlete msimamo wa ukweli, wananchi wa Kenya waelewe BBI ni nini, kwa sababu imekuwa ni kama karata
ambayo tunaona inawaangazia tu wale wakubwa ambao wako upande wa juu. So ningeomba waweze kutuletea ambapo hatujaisoma BBI tujue inaelekea wapi, ni kitu tunalazimishwa tupitishe. So ningeomba wananchi pamoja na viongozi wetu, jameni, tusijiongeze mzigo juu ya ingine.
Elsewhere, the National Environment Management Authority NEMA has directed that the county government of Kilifi to urgently regularize operations at the Malindi dam site. NEMA Board of Directors Chairperson John Conchella says the environmental watchdog had written to the county government giving it a 10-point plan to ensure that there is no further pollution of the environment at around the dam site. The chairperson led a team of NEMA directors and county government officials on a tour of the facility situated at Kosorine area in the outskirts of Malindi town, where he decried the poor state of the dam site and directed the county government take urgent remedial measures. The environmental authority says that the dam site requires urgent fencing and that all vehicles carrying garbage to the site should be licensed by NEMA to ensure total compliance and accountability.
You saw the place is being encroached by both animals and people, and that is not acceptable. It's not an acceptable standard. We have those minimum 10 points that we want to be implemented immediately as a basic minimum. So I'm living here as a chair and giving them instruction to do so. We'll come and pay a visit when we come back to ensure that what we have seen today is improved. Any lorry which comes in must be licensed first. It must be licensed by NEMA so that they take responsibility of who is carrying this waste to where. Yeah? And then the next thing is there must be somebody who is able to check what is being brought in to stop what we see here. Otherwise, if we leave the dump site just to remain that way, many things will be dumped there. And definitely the people who live around here will be affected.
And from the business desk, the unemployment rate continues to climb despite the high level of skills that potential job seekers have. According to Sam Munga, KaziWork app corporate communication manager, many are now opting to use social media to get available job opportunities ranging from cleaning, babysitting, waitress jobs and accounting, among others. Joan Katunyi with a report.
Like many users, Violet Shikami testifies how KaziWorks app has helped her getting cleaning and babysitting jobs at the comfort of her home.
Napata customer akinitafuta kwa app, kwa online, nikiwa tu hata mahali popote niko, nikiwa kwa nyumba, ananitafuta na tunaongea, tunaelewana.
The founders say the reason why they came up with their app is to help the Kenyan youths to access job opportunities through their platform without much struggle.
Challenge is actually them getting to that aspect of utilizing those skills. So Kazi brings the opportunity closer to them from their phone. So wherever they are seated, whether in the house or maybe they are going to hang out with their pals, one can access their app and actually see if there is a job request related to their skill. So once they are able to see that it's a job that relates with them, then they easily just accept and negotiate with the client, and they go perform their task. Once it's done, they are paid.
For Eunice Mutuku, who is an accountant in a private firm in Nairobi, the app saves many the hassle of tamaking after graduation.
So tamaking is quite a hassle. So kupata venye nilikama across your app, nilidecide to install kwa simu, because unaweza pata kazi at the comfort of your home, office, anywhere. You can apply, and then when the client needs you, they can just give you a call.
Kenya's unemployment rate currently stands at its record high, but the future looks promising with technology like Kazi app. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Joan Kutunyi.
Thank you, Joan Katunyi. Farmers allied to the Makomboki tea factory in Murang'a County are accusing Kenya Tea Development Agency KTDA for opposing implementation of Tea Act of 2020. Speaking during a sensitization forum about the new law at Mairi area in Kangari Ward, the farmers castigated the KTDA of using their money to pay legal fees to block regulations aimed at streamlining the tea sector and ensure farmers get more returns from their produce. They allege that KTDA is using millions of shillings which belong to farmers to pay legal fees.
The tea farmers allied to the Makomboki tea factory in Murang'a County have decried that after the bill was assented to law in December 2020, KTDA, which manages the tea of small-scale tea holders, have instituted court cases in an effort to ensure the new regulations in the sector will not see light of the day. The farmers, led by former Planning Principal Secretary Irungu Kagera, asked the government to start implementing pertinent sections of the law so that they can start benefiting from the new regulations.
The court giving expert orders, most of these things have not been able to go through. For us, what we want to ask government is to actually ensure that we have, in particular, the elections at the factories.
A local farmer, Mukuna Kariuki, allied to Ngere Tea Factory, asked KTDA to withdraw their case seeking to oppose the new law, accusing the management of the agency for failing to educate farmers about their new regulations, but instead used millions of shillings to oppose the new law.
Nataka kuambia wakulima na wasikada wote, sisi KTDA haisimamii wakulima. Mimi nasimamia wakulima na sina pesa na waitisha katika Ngere Tea Factory kwa makoti yote, kwa kesi yote kotini. Na hakuna pesa ile tunaitisha wakulima.
The agency has been accused of failing to educate farmers about the new regulations, but instead used millions of shillings to oppose the new law. Nyakundi Kelvin, Switch TV.
And from the sports desk, Morocco put 3 past Zambia to book a date with host Cameroon in the semi-finals of the ongoing African Nations Championships. The Atlas were already 1 up a minute into the game through Sofiane Rahimi. Then Mohamed Bamama made it 2-0 in the 8th minute. Ayub El-Kabi scored a third from the spot before Moses Firi pulled one back for Zambia 10 minutes to time. Their semi-final against Cameroon is set for Wednesday.